Hello, everybody. Ryan Gronfin here with clickBACON, and this is our last training as we kick off kind of the launch of clickBACON here. The idea for the last 7 weeks, today being the 8th, has been to um, create just a very quick overview training series for you to help you understand how to take best advantage of the application, how to generally use certain functions and modules within the application. And so we've gone through everything from the QuickBooks integration to the POS integration to the dashboard to reports to your budget, and a few others because that wasn't 7 right there. But today we're calling this like power tips for power users. So I have a list of a few things. I'm going to be kind of bouncing around the application here, but these are sort of my favorite things that I think are maybe underutilized or people don't really fully know about or know how to use. They're very subtle things in the application. So we're going to go ahead and share my screen right now. And I will just want to get a confirmation. Let me get this out of the way. And let me bring this up here. If I could just get a confirmation from someone that you are looking at clickBACON. Okay, all right. And you can still hear me okay. So let's get going here. So again, welcome into the application. If you need help with anything, the dashboard, anything I mentioned, go back and watch some of the previous trainings. If you're watching this on YouTube, they'll either be in our YouTube playlist or they'll be within the application under support, or they're also on our website, clickbacon.com. So the first thing I wanted to do is to go to the budget. Our kind of first tip is forecast. So in the budget training, I talk a lot about how I prefer to look at the full year budget. But one of the things that I think is a little underutilized is forecast. And what forecast is in our application is a combination of your budget and your actuals. So if you'll notice here, January through September are kind of a light gray. That's because that is actual data. Whereas October, November, and December is still budgeted. We haven't completed the month of October yet, so we're not including that into your forecast. But the best part about this is you can come over here and you can see, hey, how are we doing? How are we trending this year? Between the actual numbers that we've done, which are booked, and then our budgets, are we going to hit our projections? Now, if you live in an area or if you have a business that's very linear, your Januaries and your Aprils and your Julys and your Decembers are pretty similar, then that's easy math to do. But for some of us, we have really slow summers and really busy winters, right? So that theory, that idea of Black Friday, what the term Black Friday means is that for most retail businesses, you're operating in the red the whole year, and then you make all of your money in November and December. So for some of us, that holds true. So it's helpful to have this forecast view, and you can see how are we doing? Are we going to make, exceed, or not reach our profits? And in this example, you can see that if everything stays as planned between their actual numbers and their budgeted numbers, they're going to increase profits, or they're going to make about 120,000 more in profits than they thought they were going to do, which is fantastic, right? So that was the first thing I wanted to share with you. The second thing I wanted to share with you, which is still related to budgets, comes on your dashboard. Now, again, in our budget video, I talk a little bit about how we create a daily budget for you, but I think a lot of people aren't utilizing this really powerful widget which breaks down your daily sales for you and allows you to edit it. Now, the reason we would edit it is if you're using your budget for proper forecasting, for proper scheduling, for proper ordering. So, for example, like today's a Thursday, and let's say, hey, I'm about to set my schedule for next week. Well, you could toggle over here to next week and you could see, hey, this is what you're budgeted for. Do you think this is good? And you might look at this and go, oh my gosh, no, we're closed on Monday. There's a holiday. So you just simply click here and change this to 0, right? And then you might be like, but the day after a holiday is usually a really busy day. So I think we're going to do 18,000. Not sure. We'll try that one more time. I'm not sure what I did wrong there. Okay. We'll have to fix that. It was a little bug when I hit the tab button. But now you're like, okay, this looks better to me. This seems about right. So now here's your budget for the week. Now you can build a schedule, you can plan purchasing, you can do all kinds of things based on that number. And then if you wanted to approve this, let's say you're a district manager or an owner or a general manager of the store, now you approve this week and now it's locked. Your other team members can't edit it. Only you can unlock it and edit it. Another thing I want to show you is when we're doing daily sales from our POS system. In this case, right, this is a great example. Maybe we've been out of town for a week or we've just been busy, but we've got 5, 6, 7. We have a bunch of daily sales that haven't pushed through. Instead of going into each one and approving it individually, you could do a bulk review. So you can come into here and this will tell you this is a little bit extreme, this is a sample account, but you've got a whole bunch of items that once you map all these items or approve them, you will then be able to push all your daily sales at once instead of having to go through each one individually. Now, we can also do the same thing. We can bulk approve on documents on your expenses. And so you can see this button here. If you click on bulk approval, it's a very similar user interface that will tell you we have 2 vendors that aren't mapped. We have 35 items that aren't mapped. And once you actually, in this case, once you clear these items up, then you will be able to push all of your documents. You don't have to go into each individual document. So sometimes there'll be value in looking at each document individually. Sometimes you'll want a bulk review and move on. Another thing, and I put it in bold in my notes, is the sheets. A lot of people do not use these sheets. We did a training on this last week. Today is not going to be a training on it, but I find that restaurants that have really good quality build sheets, really nice, clean recipes, really good checklists and prep sheets just seem to operate better. So use the sheets. If you haven't already, your account should be loaded with examples. You can then go ahead and delete those examples or you can leave them there, but use the sheets. Another ninja tip is memorized or saved reports and shortcuts. So the first thing is a lot of people just scroll right past this shortcuts. You could put certain things in your shortcuts, including your favorite reports. So let's say that my favorite report, which it is in my notes, that my favorite report is a rolling period report comparing to budget. This is my favorite report to look at. And so now that I've loaded this report, you can save it. And I'm just going to call this favorite prime cost report just for making this easy. And now that that report is saved, you never have to go through all the work I just did. From now on, you can go to my reports and you'll see favorite prime cost report. Now, if you build more and more and more reports, you might have 10 or 15 saved reports, but 3 of them are your favorites. So then if you flag this, it adds it to your favorite, which is really great. But then also, once it's added to your favorite, you can come here and you can add it. I'm going to get rid of some of this stuff here just to make it a little bit easier for us to see what I did. But you can now add it to your shortcuts, and now you could see it right there. So now every time you log in, you just click on this button here, and boom, there's your report for you. You don't have to change anything. Now, a tip is don't use a custom date period for a memorized report or a save for your favorite report, because then it will always load that same custom date period. Use one of our like rolling or last month or something like that. So then the date range will be dynamic. In this case, because it's set to rolling period, every new week you come here, this report will always be the last 4 weeks. Another thing is you could automatically email certain reports. So if you come here to notifications, this is another one of my ninja tips. You can click here and let's say prime cost. And we will be adding more reports to this, but it's still great. We have a few in here, but we can add more. So let's say I want a prime cost report rolling, and I want it sent to me by email. I want it every week on, let's say, Wednesday at 8 a.m., because that might give you the time that you need or the time that your bookkeeper needs um, to get the data correct. Because if you have it emailed to you on Monday morning, it may not be fully correct. But now, and if I put my email address in here, which I'm not going to, if I save this, every Wednesday at 8 a.m., you are going to get that report that we just created emailed to you. And there's other things you can do here, right? And again, we're going to start adding more to it, but there's different reports that you can do for now. But we're also going to add notifications in here. So check back often. We're going to add notifications for if you have a certain amount of DSRs or anytime a DSR doesn't go through, or if you want to set some rules for let's say an invoice that is over a certain amount, right? So we'll be adding more notifications here, but start playing with your automated, memorized notifications. What else did I have here? Oh, the rolling report, right? We talked about rolling a little bit, but this little section right here is one of my absolute favorite sections. Is this just very quickly shows you, without even having to build the report I just built, it absolutely shows you what I believe is the most important data. Just as a reminder, right? Prime cost is your sales, your cost of goods sold, your discounts, and your labor. So this is the most controllable number in your business. This number should be under 60% without a question. In this case, the sample restaurant's running a 45.58, which is phenomenal. But again, remember, this is sample data. But use this every time you log in. This to me, look at your rolling 4 week. If your rolling 4 week is good, you're good. Maybe if it's not good, figure out why. Was it COGS? Was it discounts? Was it labor? What caused my rolling 4 to not be what I wanted? And then the last note that I had for kind of these power tips is just using your dashboard. I understand that the dashboard might be a little confusing just because there's a lot of numbers on here and we're constantly wanting your feedback as to how we can make it simpler to understand. We are working on developing a few new widgets that we think are going to be a little simpler. This is our third version of the dashboard. We will always be improving it. But again, you can get so much data off this dashboard by starting at the top here, looking to see, are we operating in the green or are we operating in yellow or red? How is our rolling 4? Do we have things that need our attention or do we need our bookkeeper's attention, right? If you see 20 daily sales and that's your bookkeeper's job, send them a message. Hey, what's going on here? Or if it's your job to review PMIX items or documents, then do your job. The weekly budget, which we talked about, some of your favorites, the sales analytics, sales by week, closing your rings, and then just drilling into your prime cost expenses, right? The ability to look here and see your prime cost or your food cost, your labor cost, declining balance summary, right? This is all such great data that I think a lot of people just look past the dashboard and go right to their reports or work that they have to do. So again, I think just looking at the forecast, I'm just going to quickly review what we talked about here, right? Looking at the forecast, adjusting your daily sales, bulk approvals on DSRs and on documents, using the sheets, the paper-based, unbelievably simple checklist, prep sheets, recipes, build sheets, building your favorite reports and saving them, automatically emailing reports, looking at your rolling cost section, and then just looking at your whole dashboard. those are the ninja tips, the power tips that when clients of mine are new to the app, once they've started using it for a little while, this is what I do. I like to come back onto a session with them and show them what I just shared with you here today. This has been an absolute pleasure and an absolute honor over the last 8 weeks to bring you some training and some updates and some of the new stuff that we're doing in ClickBACON. But as always, if you're left at the end of the series with questions, if there's things that you're still not certain about, if you need help, please do not hesitate to reach out to us. You can reach us through support right in the app here. This is where you'll find the videos that we've done in this training series. Every other Tuesday, we do a live Zoom call that you can just pop into anytime that we're doing it and you want to come in, just pop in there. You can ask any questions you want. You can also send us an email or ask questions, either support@clickbacon.com, clicking on the knowledge base here, or submitting a ticket will take you right to our help desk. And either Dawn will probably be your first point of contact. And then if she's unable to help you with that, it'll probably either go to our developers or to Ron or I to be able to get you answers to your questions. But please do not hesitate to reach out. Again, it's been a pleasure bringing you all these trainings over the last 8 weeks. We look forward to seeing you on our weekly or every other week, our bi-weekly Zoom meetings. Jump into the chat. Let us know how we can help you. Have an absolutely amazing day, and thank you for taking the time to watch these videos. Bye-bye.